Our last question to review things from chapter 2, kinematics and motion in one dimension, is it's an oldie but a goodie. This is a version of a sort of historic question in physics. So here's the question. I have a marathon runner, runs at a steady 15 kilometers per hour. When the runner is 7.5 kilometers from the finish, a bird begins flying from the runner to the finish at 30 kilometers per hour, so double her speed. When the bird reaches the finish line, immediately turns around, flies back to the runner, and then turns around again, repeating the back and forth trips till the runner reaches the finish line. How many kilometers does the bird travel? So think about how you want to answer that. Think about what the answer is. There's one of those four. And when you are ready with your answer, go ahead and unpause the video and we'll go over the answer. All right, there are a couple ways to do this, and this is part of the story of the problem, to arrive at the answer of 15 kilometers. The easy way of doing it, sort of the straightforward way, is that she is running at 15 kilometers per hour. She has 7.5 kilometers to go. So she gets to the finish line in a half hour. So the bird flies for a half hour. How far is the bird going to fly in a half hour? 15 kilometers. Done. Okay. The other way that you can go through to think about how to solve this, and you would actually wind up with the same answer, is working this out as an infinite series of where is the bird turning around at, considering they're always going to reverse direction when they reach the runner and come back. And you can work that out that way. It's much easier to do it the first way. And there's a lore that goes with this question. And it involves a mathematical physicist by the name of John von Neumann. So at least the version that I first heard of this, graduate students were going around and asking the physics faculty basically this question. It was in terms of two trains heading toward each other, but basically the same question as this. And the physicists were, physics professors were one after another trying to write out this very complicated and infinite series and summing it up and not seeing the obvious answer of, well, what's the time of travel and how far could the bird fly in that time, right? And so they got to John von Neumann and posed the problem to him, and he answered it, as he often would, because he was a very bright person, very quickly. And finally, the graduates like, someone with like physics intuition who doesn't go into like the complicated way to solve a problem, to do it the obvious way. All the other professors we asked about this, they were going through and they were summing up a series, infinite series of terms to arrive at the answer. And John von Neumann was like, what was the easy way? He did the infinite series. He just did it in his head. So if you come across the name John von Neumann, it might be from, well, there are many ways it could come up. Very gifted polymath, made contributions in many fields. In everyday life, the thing that would probably come up first is the basic architecture for how a computer works with a central processing unit and then memory units to bring things in to operate on and then send back out to store. That basic concept for how you could put a computer together is called a von Neumann architecture, after John von Neumann. So many, many contributions and very gifted in mathematics.